Let me ask you something simple but powerful. Do you really know what you want? And more importantly, do you know why you want it? You see, most people think getting what they want is about setting goals, making vision boards, and grinding 24/7, but it starts way deeper than that. It starts with your why. If you don't know why you want something, you'll never have the strength to push through the pain it takes to get it. The journey will test you. Your patience, your confidence, your belief. Only a deep reason can carry you through the discomfort. Most people move through life wanting things. A better job, more money, recognition, love, freedom, success. But very few stop to ask the most important question, why do I want this? That question, simple as it sounds, is the key to everything. When you understand why you want something, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your energy increases. Your commitment becomes unshakable. The why behind your goal is the emotional fuel that keeps you going when motivation fades and the path gets hard. And it will get hard. Let's be honest, most people quit. Not because their goal was impossible, but because they didn't have a reason powerful enough to keep them moving. Surface level desires are fragile. They break under pressure. But when your why is rooted in something deep, in purpose and meaning and values, no obstacle feels big enough to stop you. Think about this. Two people go to the gym. One says, I want to look good for summer. The other says, I want to be healthy and strong so I can play with my kids for years to come. Now, which one of them is more likely to show up when it's raining, when they're tired, when progress feels slow? The one whose why connects to something bigger than ego or appearance. The one whose reason touches their heart. Knowing what you want is only the beginning. Knowing why you want it gives you direction. It gives you resilience. And it gives you the ability to say no to distractions, not because you're disciplined, but because you're clear. You don't need to force willpower when your purpose is strong enough. Purpose pulls you forward. It becomes automatic. Here's the part most people miss. Your why has to be yours, not your parents', not society's, not what your friends expect of you. Too many people chase goals that don't belong to them. They pursue careers they don't care about, chase money they don't need, or try to impress people they don't even like. And when they finally get there, they feel empty because they were climbing the wrong mountain the whole time. So before you start grinding, before you build a strategy, before you invest time, money, energy, and emotion into chasing something, pause. Sit with yourself. Ask the hard question, why do I want this? And then be brutally honest with your answer. Is it coming from love or fear? Is it driven by passion or insecurity? Is it for you or for someone else? Sometimes we realize we don't really want what we thought we did. Other times we uncover a deeper reason, and that reason gives us the fire we've been missing. Your why is your compass. It keeps you from getting lost. It helps you persevere. It makes you dangerous in the best possible way because you're not just working hard, you're working with purpose. And people with purpose don't stop. They don't settle. They don't need to be told what to do. They know what they're here for. So whatever it is you want, success, freedom, love, peace, greatness, don't start by asking how to get it. Start by asking why it matters. Because when your reason is strong enough, the path will reveal itself. And you won't need to chase what you want. You'll become the person who attracts it. And that changes everything. Everyone wants something. Everyone has dreams, desires, ambitions. That part is easy. It doesn't take strength to want. It doesn't take courage to wish. You can sit on your couch, close your eyes, and want the world. But that doesn't mean you'll get it. Because wanting is easy. What matters, what separates people, is what you're willing to earn. We live in a world that celebrates the outcome but forgets the effort. Social media is full of highlight reels, people showing off the results of years of hard work, but rarely showing the pain behind the scenes. So others look at success and think it came easy. They think wanting it badly enough is the key. It's not. The truth is, desire without discipline is just noise. It doesn't build anything. It doesn't create momentum. It just frustrates you. There is something sacred about earning what you want, something deeply human. When you earn it through the grind, the setbacks, the lonely nights, the sweat, the growth, you don't just get the reward. You become someone new. You transform. And that's the real gift. The journey you take to earn something shapes you more than the thing itself. Earning is sacred because it requires you to show up every single day, not just when you feel like it. It demands consistency in the face of invisibility, when no one is clapping for you, when no one is watching, when it feels like nothing is working. And yet you show up anyway. That's sacred. That's strength. That's where character is built. Those people are in love with the idea of the goal, not the process. They want the body, but not the workouts. They want the wealth, but not the discipline. They want the lifestyle, but not the sacrifice. And so they quit the moment things get hard. But here's the thing, it's supposed to be hard. That's the filter. That's the test. The struggle is not the problem, it's the proof. The pain you feel is proof you're in motion. The effort is proof you're taking the path most won't. Earning what you want forces you to meet yourself honestly. It exposes your weaknesses, your excuses, your limits. But it also introduces you to your strength, to your grit, to your potential. You can't shortcut that. You can't hack your way through it. Real achievement is not available on discount. The truth is, if you could snap your fingers and get everything you want, it wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't change you. It wouldn't fulfill you. Because fulfillment comes from becoming the kind of person who deserves it. That's why people who win the lottery often end up broke again. They got the reward without the growth. They had the outcome, but they missed the becoming. So we want something, really want it. Don't focus on the fantasy. Fall in love with the process. Embrace the work. Honor the climb. Respect the struggle, because when you earn it, nobody can take it from you. It's not borrowed, it's yours. And the confidence that comes from earning something is unshakable. You walk differently, you speak differently, because you know what it took. Wanting is easy, it doesn't cost anything. Earning is sacred, it costs everything: time, energy, focus, and heart. But it also gives you something no shortcut ever will: pride, character, and the quiet confidence of knowing you did it the right way. And that will always be worth more than the thing itself. Whatever you want sounds powerful, it sounds limitless, it sounds like freedom, but it's also vague, dangerously vague. Because if you can't define what you want, how can you possibly go after it? How can you commit to the path, make sacrifices, or measure progress if you're not even clear on what the destination looks like? This is where most people get stuck. Not because they don't have the talent or the drive, but because they're chasing something they've never taken the time to define. They say, I want to be successful, but what does that actually mean? Is it money? Is it peace of mind? Is it building a family, creating impact, being famous, having freedom? Without clarity, you're chasing a shadow. And you'll always feel like you're falling short, even if you're making progress. You can't hit a target you can't see. And the truth is, most people avoid defining what they want, because it forces them to confront something real. Clarity comes with responsibility. Once you say it out loud, you're accountable to it. That's scary. It's safer to say, I just want more, or I want better. But that kind of thinking is what keeps people running in circles. And when you're not specific, everything looks like an opportunity. And that's the problem. You end up stretched too thin, saying yes to things that don't align, jumping from one shiny object to the next. But when you're clear, you know what to ignore. You know when to say no. You're not pulled in 100 directions because your focus is laser sharp. Clarity isn't about limiting your dreams, it's about protecting them. You don't have to settle for less. You just have to define exactly what more looks like to you, and not based on someone else's version of success. This is where self-honesty matters. Maybe you don't want to be rich. Maybe you just want to be free. Maybe you don't want to be famous. You just want to be respected by the people who matter to you. That's okay. In fact, that's powerful because it's yours. This kind of clarity takes work. It requires reflection, stillness, even discomfort. It's not as glamorous as setting goals or making vision boards, but it's essential because clarity is what turns your desires into direction. It creates a roadmap. It gives your effort a destination. And here's something else. Your definition of whatever you want can change, and that's okay too. You're allowed to evolve. What mattered to you 5 years ago might not matter now. What you want today might shift tomorrow. That's not weakness, that's growth. But even as it changes, you have to keep redefining it. Because vague dreams will always create vague results. Think of it like this. If you got in your car and said, I want to go somewhere nice, your GPS couldn't help you. But if you typed in the exact address, every step of the journey would become clear. You'd know when to turn, when to slow down, when to stay on course, and you'd get there. The same is true for your life. You have to know where you're going to know what it takes to get there. So ask yourself, what do I really want? What does whatever actually mean to me? Define it, write it down, refine it, be bold about it, be honest about it. Because the moment you get clear, the path starts to form. And every step you take has purpose. In a world full of noise and distraction, clarity is a superpower. And if you can define what whatever you want means, not just to the world, but to you, you're already closer than most people will ever be. Growth and comfort do not coexist. It's a simple truth, but one most people resist. We live in a world that sells comfort as the ultimate goal. Convenience, ease, shortcuts, instant results. But anyone who's ever done something meaningful knows this. Comfort is a trap. It keeps you still, it keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. If you want to grow, you have to trade comfort. Not once, but repeatedly. Every level of growth demands that you let go of the familiar and step into the unknown. It doesn't matter if you're chasing physical growth, emotional strength, financial success, or personal evolution. The process always involves discomfort. Why? Because growth is change, and change by definition disrupts what you're used to. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without resistance. You don't get stronger by lifting what's easy. You grow by pushing through the pain, by staying under pressure, by challenging your limits. The same rule applies to life. If everything you're doing feels comfortable, chances are you're not growing, you're repeating. And repetition without evolution is stagnation. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the indicator that you're stretching, that you're moving beyond your old identity, that you're building capacity. But most people run from it. The moment it gets hard, the moment it feels unfamiliar or awkward, they retreat. They convince themselves it's not the right time, or maybe they're not ready. But the truth is, no one ever feels ready to leave their comfort zone. You step out first, and the readiness follows. There's a lie we're often told, that if something is right for you, it will feel natural, smooth, even effortless. But the truth is, the most transformative experiences in your life will often begin with discomfort. Growth feels awkward. It's supposed to. You're doing something you haven't done before. You're becoming someone you've never been before. That's the point. Trading comfort for growth also means letting go of validation. It means doing things that other people might not understand. Your old circle might question you. Your old habits will fight to survive, and you'll have moments of doubt, but those moments are part of the transformation. Growth doesn't ask you to feel good. It asks you to keep going even when you don't. There's a deeper layer here too. Sometimes growth requires you to give up not just physical comfort, but emotional comfort. The comfort of blaming others, the comfort of staying in victimhood, the comfort of low expectations. These things might feel safe, but they're not serving you. Growth begins when you take full responsibility. When you say, I'm not okay with staying here. I'm willing to be uncomfortable if it means becoming who I was meant to be. And yes, it's hard, but it's worth it. Because on the other side of discomfort is pride, confidence, power. There is a kind of self-respect that only comes from doing hard things. You walk taller, you think clearer, you trust yourself more, not because life got easier, but because you proved you could do hard things. So if you feel uncomfortable right now, good. If you're scared but moving anyway, you're on the right path. If you're stretched, unsure, and a little bit overwhelmed, you're probably growing. Don't pull back. Don't numb the discomfort. Lean into it. That's where the transformation lives. It's easy to become obsessed with outcomes. Success, results, metrics, goals. We chase them because we believe they'll make us feel fulfilled, respected, validated. And while there's nothing wrong with aiming high, too many people forget that how you get there and who you walk with matters just as much as where you're going. In fact, it might matter more. When you're chasing a goal, it's tempting to surround yourself with anyone who can help you reach it faster. People with influence, money, access, status. On paper, they seem like the right choice. But if they don't share your values, if they don't care about the process, the purpose, or the mission, they'll eventually cost you more than they give you. Outcomes are temporary. who you become along the way is permanent, and the people you align with shape that becoming. If you walk with people who cut corners, you'll start making excuses. If you spend time with people who only care about appearances, you'll find yourself chasing attention instead of authenticity. If your circle believes in winning at all costs, you'll start to sacrifice parts of yourself that were never meant to be compromised. That's why alignment matters. You need to build with people who value the journey, not just the destination. People who care about integrity, not just profit. People who are honest when it's inconvenient. People who call you higher, not just cheer you on blindly. These aren't just teammates or collaborators. They are mirrors, anchors, and accelerators. The right people don't just help you win. They make sure you win the right way. And that's rare. The truth is, aligning with values over outcomes might slow you down in the short term. You might pass on quick deals. You might say no to fast success. You might lose people who are only there for the spotlight. But in the long term, it gives you something far more valuable. Peace, trust, sustainability. Because you're not just building a result, you're building a life, a legacy, a reputation that can't be bought or faked. This applies in every area: relationships, business, friendships, partnerships. Stop asking, can this person help me get what I want? And start asking, do we believe in the same things? Do we care about the same impact? Will they stand with me when things get hard? Because outcomes will test loyalty, success will test character, and adversity will reveal who's really in alignment. We've all seen people who hit the top only to crash down because the people around them weren't solid. There was no shared vision, no shared integrity, just ambition. And ambition without values is a ticking time bomb. On the flip side, when you align with the right people, something powerful happens. Trust multiplies, energy compounds, communication flows, and progress accelerates. Not just toward the goal, but toward a version of yourself you can be proud of. That's the beauty of alignment. It doesn't just help you achieve, it helps you evolve. So be intentional about who you walk with. Don't let desperation make you settle. Don't let the pressure to win fast make you partner with people who don't reflect your deepest values. Surround yourself with people who hold you accountable, speak truth, live with integrity, and want the outcome, but not at the cost of the mission. Because when you align with the right people, you don't just reach your goals, you protect them. Ends up, you don't just get what you want. You get there in a way that allows you to enjoy it, keep it, and look in the mirror without regret. In a world that celebrates speed, results, and appearances, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. Character. It's not flashy, it won't trend, but it's the foundation of everything that lasts. When the spotlight fades, when the applause stops, when the pressure rises, character is what carries you. Character is who you are when no one's watching. It's how you treat people who can't do anything for you. It's the voice inside you that says, do it the right way, even when the wrong way is faster, easier, or more profitable. And if you want to go far, if you want to build something meaningful and lasting, you have to let character guide the journey. Why? Because talent can open doors, but only character can keep them open. Ambition can get you noticed, but character earns respect. And in the long run, respect always outlasts attention. There's a temptation to compromise, especially when things get hard, especially when the goal feels just out of reach. You'll be tempted to cut corners, tell half-truths, take shortcuts, or pretend to be something you're not. And sure, it might work for a while, but whatever you gain without character, you'll eventually lose without peace. Character keeps you grounded. It gives you the strength to walk away from things that aren't right, even when they look good. It helps you sleep at night, knowing you didn't betray yourself for a temporary win. That kind of peace, you can't buy it. And no level of success is worth trading it. It also builds something deeper, trust. People don't follow talent alone, they follow consistency, integrity. They follow people who mean what they say and do what they say. That's how reputations are built, quietly, slowly, brick by brick, not through big moments, but through small, daily decisions to do the right thing. When you let character lead, you attract the right people. People who value loyalty over hype. People who stand by you not just because of what you achieve, but because of how you achieve it. You create relationships that are real, businesses that are honest, growth that's rooted. And that kind of success can't be shaken. It doesn't mean you'll never fall short. You will. We all do. But character also shows up in how you recover. Do you own your mistakes? Do you take responsibility? Do you make it right? That humility, that accountability is part of your strength. It doesn't make you weak, it makes you trustworthy. In the journey toward your goals, there will be distractions, noise, ego, people telling you to take the easy route, promises of quick wins. But remember this, how you get there matters, just as much as getting there. And if you sacrifice your character along the way, you'll find the destination far emptier than you imagine. There's nothing wrong with ambition. In fact, it's necessary. But ambition without character is dangerous. It burns fast, leaves wreckage, and rarely satisfies. Real fulfillment doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from who you become in the process. So when you're faced with a choice, choose character. When you're under pressure, lean on character. When no one's looking, act with character. It might not always be the fastest path, but it will always be the most meaningful. Because in the end, the titles will fade, the trophies will gather dust, the applause will stop. But character stays, character follows you. And when the journey is over, it's the one thing that proves you didn't just chase something, you built something worth being proud of.